Welcome to Sebring International Raceway, and today it's the season opener for the Grand Sports Division. 29 cars have qualified for this race on this 3.7-mile track. And Dorsey, these are the big guys, the Porsches, the Camaros, a lot of speed out there today.
Absolutely, the fastest cars and sometimes the fastest drivers on what is already a very fast race course. 3.7-mile course, one of the longest straightaways in IMSA.
Oh, we'll have the highlights of that race and a lot more for you in this half hour of Firestone Firehawk. Joe Vardy is a regular visitor to Victory Lane. The former drag racer is now one of the stars on the Firehawk circuit and is hoping for a second straight Grand Sports Championship. After visiting Victory Lane, the first stop for the winning car is post-race inspection, a close-up look to make sure the street-legal cars stay legal. And the Grand Sports season starts with some wild rides at Sebring. We'll have the highlights coming up on Firehawk.
U.S. Olympic athletes. All told, they put in millions of training miles. It's the same idea behind our Firestone Firehawk Endurance Championship Series. The Firestone performance tires we've raced have run up more than 1.5 million miles. And everything we learn goes into every Firestone performance tire we make. Is it worth it? We think so.
At Oldsmobile, we know the difference between designing a race car to be fast and designing a race car to be a winner. The new Achieva SCX has an engine that just doesn't know when to quit. Anti-lock brakes that help make cornering a breeze. And the difference between this winner and the winner you can buy is a wash. The Achieva SCX from Oldsmobile. The power of intelligent engineering.
Presenting a superbly engineered high-performance machine. One that's been race-bred by the world's finest drivers to deliver the ultimate overall performance. What do we call this masterpiece of engineering? Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug. Drive it today and find out for yourself why so many champions prefer Bosch. To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
When you hear this sound, or see these lights, there's a very good chance that someone needs you. They need your blood to live. Please, when you hear this sound, or see these lights, think about giving someone who needs you another chance. This is William Shatner for the American Red Cross. Please, give blood.
Joe Vardy has raced just about everything, from drag race cars to sports cars. He's a race engine builder by trade, and Bill Weber had a chance to talk to him.
Well, I have a good time in anything I do. Racing's hard, as everybody knows it, and it's real hard to earn a living doing it the way we do it. But, I mean, I have fun in anything. I have fun going to McDonald's.
Joe Vardy has been racing and winning for a long time and having fun doing it. He turned road racer after many years in drag racing. Today, he is an engine builder by trade and a race car driver by choice. A 7-year veteran of the Firestone Firehawk series, Vardy has led more miles, captured more poles, and made more friends than anyone in series history.
I mean, a lot of the guys we race with, you know, they're really good guys and they're real smart. And if they spent as much time as I did on my cars, they'd probably blow me off. But they, you know, people have to earn a living, and this business is hard to earn a living. So sometimes I envy the people that, you know, that are there and they have a good act and they do good, and then they go home and they have a regular job and they have a nice life. So, you know, so I envy them and they envy me, and I, you know.
His 2-division Drivers' Championships and the 1991 Driver of the Year Award tell you something about his talent. His first road race might tell you something about his attitude.
I didn't know much about road racing. We were out there running around, and I'm driving into the hairpin, I believe, where the scoreboard was back then. And I looked up and I saw my number, #1 spot. And I got mad. I called up the radio and I said, you know something? You know what they did? He says, no, I don't know what they did. I said, somebody, they gave my number to another car. And they said, well, we'll check with the officials. He gets called in the ring, no. He says, you're in the lead. I said, well, would everybody else crash? They said they must have.
Vardy didn't win that race, but since the Firehawk Series debuted in 1985, he has visited Victory Lane 15 times, 4th on the all-time list. Vardy is now in his 2nd season with co-driver Mark Sandridge and veteran crew chief Charlie Cook, a winning relationship born last year at Road Atlanta after Sandridge asked Vardy to prepare his Porsches.
He happened to come up and ask me, would you do a car for me? Because he knows I do engines and chassis setups and all that stuff. He said, would you help me out? And I said, well, sure. And that was my chance to get a Porsche and not have to pay for it.
Joe is quite an individual. First of all, he's a great teacher, and he's a great leader, and he is the guiding force of this team. And he sat down with me all last year at every track, and we would spend hours on how to go through turns and how to put it all together.
Vardy's 6 victories in 10 races last summer were a career high. In 7 seasons, Joe has seen this grassroots racing series grow into a fertile field of fine-tuned, manufacturer-supported teams.
The worst enemy the Firehawk has was its success. It's so successful that a lot of people take advantage of it to use it as their showcase. And, when you get a grassroots race and then you throw a lot of money at it, the grassroots kind of comes out of it.
Vardy knows the value of racing, especially the endurance format that has proven so popular in the Firehawk series.
I don't think anybody or any manufacturer puts the cars, a street car, through the stuff that we do to them. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of advantages there for them. Maybe in 24 hours this part will fail at 50,000 miles. And maybe in their durability testing that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I've seen, there's plenty of times that I've seen the stuff that we ran on our car that failed, that the next year came out in production, as fast as that.
Joe Vardy is more than just a racer. He's a racing fan. He takes pride in bringing his wife and 2 young sons to the track. His comedic approach to life may cover up his determination to succeed, but it doesn't hide it.
I haven't grown up yet, and I'll probably be the last guy to grow up. But, when I drag raced, that was a pretty serious deal. Life, you give up a lot when you have to be on the road drag racing. You don't care about things that you should be caring about. And when I started road racing, I told myself that I'm never going to get in that position again. You couldn't get it all out of me at the beginning of road racing, but after I got comfortable, where I said, well, I know at least a little bit. When the flag drops, I know what colors they're supposed to be. When they want you off the track, they show you this, and and you're not supposed to pass the pace car under yellow and all that stuff. When I learned all that, I got real comfortable with it. And now my wife and my 2 kids come to the races, and we have a pretty good time.
Well, to know Joe Vardy is to really like the guy. Sometimes he seems like this quiet guy off in the corner, but really he's got a lot of energy, doesn't he?
You're not kidding. If you could harness that energy, you could light a city with him. He is always up. Joe Vardy has helped almost everybody in Firestone Firehawk, a really good asset.
Well, he has his work cut out for him. His team car will be starting at the rear of the field in the Grand Sports Race. We'll tell you why and have the highlights coming up next.
These are the machines of the 90s.
Fuel injection, overhead cams, poly valve.
Today's high-tech engines demand high-tech protection. Kendall Motor Oil is specifically designed to provide the ultimate protection against heat and wear under the most extreme conditions. Don't take a chance with your high-tech engine. Use Kendall Motor Oil, formulated to protect your high-tech engine. Kendall Motor Oil, pour in the protection. Kendall, available at these locations.
July 1992, Oldsmobile goes further than any other car company to redefine quality. Further than the lab, further than the test track, the Oldsmobile Achieva went 100,000 miles against Honda Accord and Toyota Camry in a real-world test. Independent test results prove Achieva outperformed Accord and Camry in total cost, which includes maintenance, repair, and operating costs. Achieva, quality redefined. From the company that went far enough to prove it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
When we set out to engineer the ultimate spark plug, we put in a lot of long hours. We utilized a lot of revolutionary thinking. And all the while, our competition thought we were just shooting for the moon. Unfortunately for them, we shot a bit higher than that. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug. To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
The number 3 cause of death for all Americans, big and small, is lung disease, including lung cancer. Lung disease doesn't kill quickly. Its victims just fade away. The number 1 cause of hope for lung disease is the American Lung Association, but they can't live on hope alone. Are we coming in loud and clear? The American Lung Association. It's a matter of life and breath.
Well, Sebring is celebrating its 40th year of racing here, and although the course has changed 3 times since then, it's still a very demanding course. Now owned by IMSA, they've done a lot of improvements. Asphalt on the backside of the course, but still here on the pit straightaway, old concrete from a World War II bomber base, extremely hard on tires. Bill, this place has seen many miles of competition. I suspect we're going to see a lot more miles today.
Nick Ham on the pole for today's race. You're the defending champion here. Can you repeat?
I think so. We've worked really hard this winter on car setup, on team. We've got a whole new team this year. We've trained them hard. Rich and I are pleased with our driving. Rich is driving great this year, so I think we can do it.
Good luck.
We're going to try.
The 28-car field rolled out with Ham's Kelly Moss teammate Rich Moskalik at the head of the field. And at the back of the pack, the 50 Sandrich Salads Porsche, with Mark Sandrich at the wheel of the car teammate Joe Vardy had put on the pole with a record-setting qualifying run, only to have the car kicked out during the post-qualifying inspection. Starter Jim Sidley held the field hostage until the final second, then set them loose for a 4-hour race on the challenging Sebring circuit. David Eppringham, a veteran of the Canadian Firehawk series, took his number 93 Porsche to the front on the opening lap. He was chased by the Camaro of Don Wallace, along with Freddie Baker, Joe Pezza, and Moskalik in Porsches, and the Camaro of Joe Danaher. While most of the fans were watching the leaders, the man on the move was Sandrich. Coming off his superb rookie season in 1991, Mark was zipping through the field and was 13th after 2 laps and 7th after 6 laps. Will Barkley in the DuPont Automotive Camaro started 27th and ran into trouble early when the left rear wheel broke off. Eppringham's strong start to the new season was flattened by a wobbly right front wheel. The problem developed heading into turn 1 on lap 4. He limped back to the pits, losing the lead, a lap, and a chance at the win. Don Wallace inherited the lead, piloting the Midwest Vans Camaro. Wallace won the Sebring race in 1990, and while the Porsches are still the lopsided favorite in the series this year, Wallace was trying to buck the trend.
Yeah, he's running real good. The car's chassing real well, and he's just kind of taking a nice, easy pace. So we're just going to see what happens.
Meanwhile, Sandrich was picking up the pace and storming through the pack. 23 minutes into the race, Sandrich, after starting dead last, was second on the scoreboard, but virtually dead even with Wallace on the track, as the two drivers put on an early fight for the lead, battling door to door for several laps. Danaher was riding along in 3rd place, and Freddie Baker was 4th. Other contenders included Ed Sharp and Robert McElhaney in the 44 Camaro, Carmen Lista in the number 5 Dave White Porsche, and the 69 Firebird of Larry Rehagen and Larry Schumacher. Among the early casualties, Tim Nastasi in the number 11 Camaro, visiting the tire wall in turn 17. The 01 Camaro of Ed and Bernadette Hubbard sent Jim Crisp for a spin in the hairpin. Both cars continued, but it was just the beginning of a disappointing day for Chris and his co-driver Mike Cedar, as the Sunoco Pontiac sustained heavy front-end damage just a few laps later. Hard work by the crew got the modified Firebird back on the track, but the car was well out of contention. Two more victims of the tight hairpin turn were Raymond David in the 9 Porsche and Paul Lewis in the 2nd Sandridge Salads Porsche. Once again, both cars raced on, but the evidence showed David and co-driver Rick Bai had a long day. Sandridge completed his climb to the top on lap 14, finally overhauling Wallace for the lead.
I'll tell you, we're pretty darn lucky. The Sandridge Salad S2 DuPont car is running flawlessly, and it's just the reason we were up in the front before is because it runs so good, and it's just showing its power now. But Don Wallace is a good competitor, and he's right there fighting with us, so it's going to be anybody's race here.
Sandridge was not surprising anyone with his performance. The Charlie Cook-prepared car surrendered the lead for 2 laps during a yellow flag pit stop, but after the field sorted itself out, the 50 Porsche was at the head of the parade. As the race closed in on the halfway mark, it was clear the Porsches had the edge. Nick Ham had replaced Moskalik in the 77, and on lap 30 took the lead, sliding Sandridge into second. The 37 car of Jarrett Freeman and Freddie Baker third, and the Joe Pezza Porsche running fourth. The TC Klein Racing BMW M3 was having a solid run, with veteran road racers Bo Lemler and Andy Pilgrim sharing the driving duties. 13 cars remained on the lead lap, but the once front-running Camaro of Don Wallace had problems in the pits, fell off the lead lap, and was eventually slowed with a mechanical problem. 2.5 hours into the race, Sandridge stopped for fuel and gave up his seat to Vardy after racing from last to first.
Now that was what you call fun. That's the definition of fun.
How was it out there today?
The car was just perfect. The car was just, you know, there's so many things that this whole team does right. It just all comes together on the race lap. So
Nick Ham pitted the Kelly Moss Porsche for gas, and the stage was set for a 2-car battle at the front of the field, with Ham staying in the seat, trying to catch Vardy.
Yes, we're planning on leaving him in the car to the finish. We happened to get the yellow where my time had been completed, and so we decided to do the driver change at the same time we filled up with fuel.
The Grand Sports season opener was showcasing 2 of the top teams in the division, celebrating the 40th anniversary of racing at Sebring with a battle for first. Vardy led from lap 62 to lap 70, but with less than an hour remaining, he was forced to make an unscheduled pit stop. The crew made a quick right rear tire change, but that was enough time for Ham to leap into first. Vardy fell into second, followed by the Porsche Freeman and Baker, the Dave White Porsche, Mike Gagliardo and Doug Goad in a Camaro, and Bo Lemler and Andy Pilgrim in the BMW. In the final half hour, only 2 cars remained on the lead lap. Ham was in front, but having plenty of problems, including a bad clutch that was crippling the car in the turns. Vardy was second, but could not make his patented final charge.
I think we broke a link on the rear sway bar.
How bad's the car? Can you catch him?
No, we can't catch him. We're turning 3 or 4 seconds a lap slower now. We're just trying to hold off some of the other cars and keep them behind us.
Ham nursed his Porsche home, taking the checkers 57 seconds ahead of Vardy. The number 5 Porsche finished third, but was disqualified in the post-race inspection. Freddie Baker and Jared Freeman took the third finishing position.
It was tough. I was in there for about 3 hours, and I drove my butt off the whole 3 hours. I thought we had a good kind of back and forth with Joe. He came out of the pits after his last stop, was about 15 seconds behind, and about an hour left, and I knew he was going to come after me and get me, and then they told me the gap was widening, so I figured he had car problem, and sure enough, but the car's kind of done right now. I really pushed it hard.
We worked the pants off of them, and they were cars prepared after a long season of testing and a lot of hard work, and I especially thank my crew chief David Stone, who just put 7 days a week in to make these cars handle the way they do, and they handle great.
U.S. Olympic athletes. All told, they put in millions of training miles. It's the same idea behind our Firestone Firehawk Endurance Championship Series. The Firestone performance tires we've raced have run up more than 1.5 million miles. And everything we learn goes into every Firestone performance tire we make. Is it worth it? We think so.
I have perfected the bicycle.
This bike's missing one part. This bike is still missing one part.
Professor?
This is the only part the bike is missing. It's a bicycle helmet. We always wear helmets when we ride. If you're not wearing a helmet, you're not ready to ride.
This week on the Buckmaster's Whitetail Magazine, join host Jackie Bushman as he hunts the elusive whitetail deer in Georgia with longtime friend Bill Jordan. Jackie and Bill will rifle and bow hunt the beautiful wooded hills of the Callaway Gardens Hunting Preserve near Pine Mountain, Georgia. Also, Jackie has another visit with those dreaded rattlesnakes on the next Buckmaster's Whitetail Magazine.
The Buckmasters, 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, Sports Sundays on TNN. Sunday, live on TNN Motorsports. It's the 25th anniversary of the ASA AC Delco Challenge Series, and the action never stops. While former champ Mike Eddy plays cat and mouse with the next generation, superstar Bob Seneker overcomes the pitfalls to show what legends are made of. And whether coming or going, one thing's for certain. Canada loves ASA. Up close and personal, live from Ontario. Players Limited 300, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, live only on TNN Motorsports.
Well, we're standing here at the start-finish line at Sebring, and Dorsey, every winner that crosses this line gets to go to Victory Lane. But there's one other place they have to go, to post-race inspection.
Yeah, Bill, and some don't come back. You know, these cars nowadays, race car, street car, they're real high-tech on electronics, and without passing the Sun Machines test, it's the policeman. If you don't go through there, you don't win. The post-race teardown is the most tedious and tormenting and definitely frustrating experience for any competitor. After the checkered flag falls, race officials will impound the top 5 cars and randomly select additional competitors for inspection. The post-race exam includes a mandatory stop at the SunTech Inspection Center. Now, if these guys are the race police, then the SunTech Analyzer is IMSA's answer to a lie detector.
I can tell you anything that has to do with drivability on the automobile. The engine, the fuel system, electrical system, all the accessories, pretty much a real thorough check on the whole engine.
Firehawk cars must meet manufacturer specs, and that's what Smith and his co-workers confirm or can't confirm. Cheaters never win, or at least if they do, they get disqualified here.
What we try to do is look to see if anyone has perhaps changed things a little bit on the car to gain an unfair advantage. Is basically some of the things that we're looking for. We don't make that decision. We provide IMSA with the technical data on the car, what we see in an unbiased comprehensive test, and they use that information as part of their tech inspection.
The Sun guys, essentially they do all the electronic checks for me, stuff that you can't do physically on the car. They do the, ECM checks on the computer systems. They do the timing. They do, all those checks for the cars.
The SunTech Analyzer is only part of the post-race process. Cars are thoroughly inspected by race officials, just in case.
The cars must be in their standard configuration, whether it be something as simple as brake components, engine components, an inner fender on the car, must be in a standard configuration, just as the car comes from the dealership, from the factory.
Now, don't get the wrong idea. Smith and his SunTech police are really the good guys, willing to help any team fine-tune their car for competition.
We're primarily here for support. People unload their cars, and we go through them and try to help them as much as we can to get the cars running correctly, and with our analyzers, try to dial them in, make them run as well as we can.
Most teams have some capability of setting the timing, checking the parameters of the engine, but very few people have the sophisticated equipment that we have available to us here through the generosity of Sun.
Well, we use it a lot. It's a tremendous help in getting the engine set just perfectly, like the fuel-air mixture, the timing on the engine, all aspects of it. It's a real help to us, and I know a lot of racers rely on it a lot as well.
Well, that wraps up our Firehawk coverage from here at Sebring, and we've had a great time being here. We want to thank all the folks here at Sebring International. Next time, a 3-hour race for all 3 divisions at challenging Road Atlanta.
Challenging indeed. Road Atlanta, best described as a roller coaster that you have to drive and most definitely can fall off of.
Well, we'll have the highlights from Road Atlanta next time, and we'll look for you tomorrow on Inside Winston Cup Racing.
And thank you for racing with us here at TNN.
Communications for Firehawk provided by Racing Radios, Forest Park, Georgia. Racing Radios, the official communications of IMSA.
The Alan Jackson Special, Monday on TNN. Relive all the action from Watkins Glen, New York, the Busch Grand Nationals Phase 150. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern, only on TNN Motorsports.
It's always so tense when he's home. What am I doing wrong?
It's not your fault he drinks. He has a disease.
Sometimes the kids are afraid of him.
New Start has helped more families deal with alcohol or other drug problems than anybody else in this area.
He's a good man, except when he's drinking.
We can help you and the kids confidentially. Take the next step. Take the first step. Call New Start 258-3202.
Discover a new world at the Henry Vilas Zoo. The Discovery Center and Herpetarium at the Henry Vilas Zoo.